Walk-Ons. I'm Drew with John Watson and the former Texas Tech Red Raider, Corley Peel. How you doing today, Corley?
Hey, good. How are y'all?
Doing great.
So, Corley, what was your path like from Texas Tech to News 4 Jax?
Well, it was an interesting one. It was definitely a long journey to get here, basically. After college, I majored in journalism in college and have a journalism degree. After college, it actually took me a year to land my first news reporter gig at a news station. So it was a lot of rejection and waiting and rejection and waiting. And then I finally got my first start in news at a station in Joplin, Missouri. Very small. I think it was like market 151. There I was a reporter, an MMJ, and then I worked my way up to be a weekend anchor. So I was there for about 2 years, and I learned a lot there. And usually in this business, you have to start somewhere small and work your way up. So it was a really cool experience. And then after my 2 years there, I went to a station in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I was a reporter and MMJ there. I was only there for about a year, and then, or a full year, a little over a year, I would say. And then I ended up having this opportunity in Jacksonville. And I became the night side weekday reporter here in Jacksonville. And I came here in 2017. So I've been here about 3 years now.
So as a news reporter in Jacksonville for about 3 years, what do you do on a daily basis over at the news station?
At the news station, well, we have our afternoon meetings about 2:45 in the afternoon. And then we pitch story ideas and we get assigned what we're going to do for the day. I have to do 2 different stories every single day, 2 different packages. And in Jacksonville, there's a lot of news going on. There's a lot of breaking news. I cover a lot of crime, breaking, severe weather. So a lot of the big news stories for the day. So, but it's a lot. I have a photographer every day. So we go out, we get interviews, we shoot video, I write, my photographer edits, and we put the story together for the 10 and 11 o'clock news.
So in Missouri and Tulsa, what was your most unique story you've done out there?
In Missouri and Tulsa?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I had a lot, but I will say in a small market like Joplin, Missouri, you really kind of have to scramble to find news stories. You don't really, there's not a lot of breaking news there. So you got to really hunt for stories. And so I actually did this one story, and I don't know why this one's coming to my brain right now, but it's really leaving an impression. But there was a mayoral race in a really small town in this town called Commerce, Oklahoma. And when I was in Missouri, it was actually on the tri-state line. So we would cover Missouri, Oklahoma, and Kansas. So right across the border in this town called Commerce, Oklahoma, they were having mayoral race. And there was like this big controversy because the current mayor's signs were being stolen out of people's yards. So I went and interviewed this woman who had her sign stolen, her mayor's sign stolen. She was so heartbroken. She was so upset. She like starts bawling, crying in the interview. And she was just like so devastated that her signs were stolen. I wish I still had that interview, but it was so chaotic. It was a really big deal about the mayor's signs being stolen. And, but she got her sign back, and that was really good. But, for some reason, just that woman, she was just this character, and she was something else. It was really great.
So how was I'm guessing you're a journalism major at Texas Tech.
Mm-hmm.
How was journalism there? Did you get involved in any like student organizations or stuff like that?
Yes. So I was in a sorority in Zeta Alpha, and then I also did the for like the journalism, we were able to do a newscast, and we like put together our newscast. It was called MCTV Live. I think that's what it was called. I can't remember, but it was our student like journalism group, and we put together newscasts and gathered stories throughout the week. But I really liked doing that because obviously it was geared towards my major.
So during like COVID times, what's your advice for a college student to get the most summer out of this, do you think? Like most out of the summer, what's your advice, do you think?
So like for them getting jobs and stuff?
That or just like trying to like enjoy it while you still like being distant?
Right. I think the best thing would be is just to take a moment to, enjoy being able to slow down and, not having to be constantly moving all the time and take, the time to be able to call your families and enjoy like more one-on-one time with your loved ones instead of, being on trips every weekend or going out of town and, not having to do a bunch of events and stuff with school. You can kind of take that moment to slow down. I know I'm trying to take advantage of that when anytime I have moments to just slow down because I think that's just kind of, it makes us realize like how precious our time is with our loved ones.
How is reporting during COVID? Is it tougher? Is it more easy because you can do these Zoom interviews, or how, what's your take on that?
It's definitely challenging because there's a lot of times when we go to interview people or we go to breaking news scenes or we go to people's houses, things like that. It is challenging because, you want to limit how much you are in the public and, how much you're engaging with the public, but there's sometimes we have to be there. So we wear our masks and we try to interview people from a distance if we can. And, it is hard, and we try to do Zoom interviews as much as possible just to kind of reduce our interactions with people, but there's sometimes where we have to go, we have to be out there. So
all right, so you were about to do Jax 3 years into Jax. What is your favorite hidden gem food place in Jacksonville?
In Jacksonville Beach, D&LP Subs is my absolute favorite sub shop. They are so nice. They make the best sub I've ever eaten in my life. It's a turkey sub, and they just put all these seasonings on it that make it taste magical. So that's my favorite.
It's a very hot take. We're both NG subs guys over here.
You're both what?
NG subs guys.
We got to try D&LP.
D&LP. I haven't heard. Is it closer to the beach, or is it like?
It's in Jax Beach. It's right off the main drag there. I would say, where is it by? I don't know. I'll send you the address. It's really good.
And another food topic, top 3 quarantine snacks. Some people say kale chips. Some people say, other things like goldfish.
Yeah.
Good quarantine snacks?
Well, my favorite, chips and salsa. I can never go wrong with chips and salsa. I've been eating a lot of watermelon. And another snack I've been eating. Mainly chips and salsa and watermelon. I like putting tangin on top of watermelon. The tangin spice. It tastes really good. And then I can't think of a third one. I don't have anything exciting for a third one. That's really it.
Tangin, what's that?
You've never had tangin?
No.
Oh, you need to look it up. It's just like a spice. It's you can put it on anything. It tastes good.
On top of watermelon?
So. Especially it tastes good on fruit.
Okay, interesting.
It's probably in the international section at the grocery store.
As a former Raider, do you miss coaching the team?
Do I miss what?
Cliff Kingsbury coaching the team?
Yeah, Cliff Kingsbury will always be in our heart, but it's just been a tough time the past 10 years for my Red Raiders, especially in football. I was there in 2008 when we were actually really good with Michael Crabtree and Graham Harrell, but since then we've kind of gone downhill, and Cliff was great for our school, but then again, it was came down to business. We have to win football games. So we definitely miss him and we support him in Arizona. But,
You guys have had a lot of success with athletes in the past few years with Pat Mahomes and a few basketball players. The one off the top of my head from last year's
Jarrett Culver.
Jarrett Culver, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's just such an interesting environment over there at Texas Tech right now.
Yeah, we all of a sudden became a basketball
Mm-hmm.
school and a baseball school. You know, that's new for me. Growing up, you know, I always thought about football. And so it's kind of been cool to, you know, we've had other sports to cheer for, which has been really awesome. So it's kind of sad with quarantine. We didn't get to enjoy the spring sports this year, but, you know.
So if we are bored out of our minds, Corey, what are some top shows to watch for quarantine, like bingeable shows we should look out for?
Right. Well, I finished the Jeffrey Epstein docuseries. That one was very interesting, especially with, you know, that woman being arrested today. It's really interesting. I just started watching Waco. That one's pretty good.
I like that one.
I did watch Outer Banks.
Oh,
I actually liked it. I thought it was going to be all about teenagers or for teenagers, but I actually kind of enjoyed it. So, but I mainly I love true crime shows. That's mainly my favorite. I like documentaries. So.
And for probably my last question, do you have any advice for, you know, student journalists or anyone who's trying to get a job right now or getting a job in the future, you know, in this different field? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I would say don't give up. Be persistent. Keep trying. Because if you want it, you can get it. I'm a good example of that just because it took me so long to finally just get my foot in the door in this business. A lot of times the hardest time is getting that first job just because you don't have as much experience. Ask questions, ask for advice, and reach out, and just don't give up. I think being persistent is definitely key, and it can be really disheartening and at times whenever you're, you know, feel like you're not getting anywhere, but you just gotta keep moving forward.
our last question is: we're trying to grow this show. Do you have any former coworkers we should interview next time for guests?
Any coworkers?
Any coworkers or college like friends that journalism now?
Well, especially since y'all are sports.
Yep.
Cole Pepper would be really good. He's a funny guy. I think y'all would like him a lot. And if you could maybe get Tom Wills on your show, he's a really interesting guy.
Where's he from?
He's the main anchor at Channel 4.
Yeah, duh. Come on.
He's been here for a long time. It's okay. Yeah. And one question, whenever you ask me my favorite, like a craziest story, did you mean just for Tulsa and Missouri, or were you mean Jacksonville?
The most out of the box in your entire career journalism.
Oh, okay. Well, I have a good one, especially being in Florida. You know, we've got Florida news. The best one I did was over a year ago. We got a call, or someone reached out to us, and it was a car dealership, and they were like, some lady just came in and stole one of our rental cars. And so they sent us a picture of her and a video of her, and we're like, okay, we'll go down and talk to them. So we get down there and we talk to the managers, and they're like, they get a phone call and they're like, we found her. And apparently they had a bunch of their employees scouting the area motels looking for her because they figured she'd probably go to a motel nearby because it was right by the airport. So we're like, oh my gosh, let's go. So we go down to the Econo Lodge, I think it was that one. And we see the car there. We see a bunch of stuff scattered around the car. She's not there. We're like, but she has to be in here. So we all start searching the property. It's an outside motel. And we see like the front desk area. There's like a clear window to get to the front office, and we see her standing in the window. So we all, like, the manager starts running, so we all start running to go up there, and we go inside, and she locks herself in the bathroom. So we wait, and then she comes out, and I go up to her. I'm like, did you steal the car? And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, well, we have you on video wearing the same clothes that you're wearing right now. And then she's like, I didn't steal the car. The demons made me steal the car.
Oh my goodness.
So she claimed that demons had possessed her and made her go steal the car. So that was a wild one because we did not expect that day. So.
She's being driven crazy.
Yeah, I'll have to send you the video. It was pretty good.
That's a hell of a way to end the show right there.
Yeah.
Demons made me steal the car.
Yep.
But Corley, thank you for your time today. I appreciate you being on our show.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah.
Thank you. And Adios.